Hello there. So in this video we're going to be talking about upper limiting. So have you ever found yourself in a place where life is going really well? You are feeling really content, there's lots of joy and laughter, business is flowing, money is coming in with ease, and suddenly life throws you loads of curveballs and challenges that you just hadn't anticipated or expected. In those moments, you might be wondering, I don't get what happened. I was in flow, I was taking action, I was feeling really happy, and now look at me. Now look at my business. I don't get it. What's most likely happened here is that you've hit a upper limit, your upper limit, and everybody's upper limit will be very different based on their own experience of life to date. And basically what this means is that you've hit up against the amount of success, love, happiness, money or health that you're allowing yourself to have. And the key word there really is allowing, because we're the ones that block it. We're the ones that say, no, this isn't possible for me, this isn't allowed for me. So what happens in these moments is that when we're going through growth and change, there is a part of us that is truly scared, because change means that we can't predict the future. We're going to be a little bit out of control, and that makes us uncomfortable. Even if our life right now isn't where we want it to be, even if perhaps it's negative or toxic, it's familiar, it's comfortable, and because of that, it makes people feel really safe. So when you're thinking about surviving and getting through the day, everything is about safety, and change is not always safe because it's unpredictable. We don't know how it's going to play out. We don't know what situations are going to happen or how people are going to respond to us. And so sometimes it feels safer to stay where we are. So when we start progressing and life gets too good and business gets too good, we bring ourselves back down to that upper limit, that set point that we're allowing for ourselves. Okay, so let's look at some signs that you might be hitting your upper limit. And we'll look at things in terms of personal life and your business, just so that you have an understanding of what might happen. So I've got some notes here. I'm going to have a little look down to make sure I cover everything off for you. So the first thing we might do, we may procrastinate. And that means that we don't take action on things that we know are good for us, or we don't stop taking action on things that are good for us. So for example, you know you need to get a proposal out to a client, you know you need to start going to the gym, but you just don't do it. You're putting excuses in place. So something you might stop doing, you know that maybe you're drinking too much, whether that's caffeine or wine. Maybe you're smoking too much. There's something you're doing which is not good for you, but you're not stopping doing it. So you've got procrastination. It could be that you're giving in to fear. Now, our mind can come up with so many different things about what could happen. And so it might convince you that there's something to be scared about. People might reject you. You might be alone, you might fail, you might make a fool of yourself. There's all these fears. And so when you've hit an upper level, you often will believe those fears, you buy into it, and because of that, you pull back. Addictions, this is a great one. So when we think about addictions, obviously, we often go to the extremes of what addictions could be, but actually it could be something as simple as being addicted to binging on Netflix. It could be the coffee that you have several times a day. It could be addicted to gossip and negativity. It doesn't have to be some of those things that traditionally we would associate with addictions. Of course it can be, but it's also things like eating junk food and sugar and anything where we feel we cannot cope without that. That is our coping mechanism. And actually all that does is it puts a block in our way in terms of feeling really good, taking action, having energy, whatever it might be. We can create drama and conflict in our life. So imagine this, your business is going really well. You're so happy with yourself and the progress you're making. But it's almost like, well, the other shoe's got to drop. And so we create this drama and conflict, maybe with the people we work with, but it could even be with our friends and family. So it could be that we will start petty little arguments, and actually they're completely pointless, and we find ourselves in drama just for the sake of drama. Now all of this is basically changing our emotional state. So we were feeling really happy and content, we were feeling successful and thriving, and that conflict, that drama has lowered our energetic vibration, And it's made us go back into that place of maybe anger, resentment, bitterness, for example. So we're bringing our emotions down. Now, another way you could be upper limiting is by playing down your gifts and talents and hiding away in the shadows while other people live your dream life. So just have a really honest, an honest view of this in terms of, are you really showing up and playing all out? Are you looking at other people and are you getting triggered because actually they are out there doing what you're too afraid to do? So just be mindful of that. Think about that. And when people trigger you and you want to attack, you want to criticize, just ask yourself what it's really about, because the chances are it's an upper limit. So you may find yourself becoming ill or having accidents, and this is a really, really common one. So imagine you are about to launch a new product or offering. You have been working on your launch for days, maybe even weeks, and suddenly you get to a point where you've got nothing left in the tank. You are exhausted and you become really ill. So basically it makes you put the brakes on, it makes you stop. And often what happens is you don't see through your launches to the full extent of what is possible. So maybe you were aiming for 20 new clients, whether it's on a program or one-to-one work, and you get to 10 and you just go, oh, I've got nothing left, 10 will do, I'm happy with 10. You could have gone to 20, but that illness, that accident, it just put the brakes on for you. You may find that you put other kinds of obstacles in your path. So things that you need to deal with, but where previously you just would have got on and dealt with all of these things, they now become really taxing for you. They become an energy drain for you. And there's a lot of negativity around those different things. So for example, obstacles could be anything where you might have to deal with stuff around the house. Your car goes wrong. You have all these appointments that you have to keep in your personal life, which is pulling you away from your work. Maybe your children become ill. It's like all these different things that in the moment you feel like you've got no control over it, and they're obstacles, they're challenges that you need to deal with. So what else have we got? Okay, so yes, blocking receiving. So I mentioned at the beginning that one of the key things is we need to allow all of this good stuff into our life. And in those moments when we're about to up level and we're about to grow as a person, as a business, we can suddenly close off our energy and just decide that we are not prepared to receive anymore. And you may find yourself stopping receiving in other areas of your life. So you won't receive, you're not allowing yourself to receive help and support. You're not allowing yourself to receive compliments. You're just literally blocking everything. You're trying to do everything on your own. You are getting exhausted. You are feeling overwhelmed. There is all this pressure. You're feeling resentful. And it then brings down your energetic vibration, and it puts you back in the place of those heavier, denser emotions. And that in itself is an upper limit problem, because where you were once in joy and positivity and all these infinite possibilities for you in your life, you're now back down to feeling out of control, powerless, frustrated, overwhelmed. They're not great energies. They block you. They block your intuition, your creativity, your inspiration. So another upper limit. And the last one I'd like to share is unexpected expenses. So you think you've got everything planned out. You know exactly what's going out that month in your personal life and in your business, and suddenly something comes in that you had not accounted for. So let's use the analogy of the car. Your car breaks down and suddenly you've got all this money that you need to pay on getting your car fixed because you can't live without a car. You hadn't accounted for that, and it's thrown a real spanner in the works. So those are some of the signs that you could be upper limiting. There's a number of different reasons why we can upper limit, and I'm going to share that with you in another video. In terms of your business, if you want to have some extra examples of or signs of upper limiting, just have a look at things like your income. So do you find that no matter what you do, you are always hitting up against the same income level? And you can look at this in terms of monthly income or yearly income. Have a look at your numbers in terms of the numbers of clients that choose to work with you. Are you finding that every time you do a launch, every time you put something new out there, you're always attracting the same number of people? So look at the income, look at the numbers. Ask yourself if you are putting on the brakes. So a very common thing is that we are almost completed with our projects. We're almost there with delivering our launch. We get to 90%, we hit the wall, and then we give up. When that happens, you are upper limiting, because there is this point where you know life's going to change. Life is going to get good. You are going to have everything you've talked about, everything on your vision board. And so right before the finish line, you stop, you pull back, you put on the brakes. Okay. So another thing that could be an upper limit in your business is not chasing the money. Now, what I mean by this is you've done the work for clients. People owe you money, and yet you are not sending out the invoices. You are not chasing people. You're not booking people in who have come to you. So maybe they want to book a workshop. Maybe they want to book a one-to-one. Maybe they want to give you money, and yet you are not making it easy or possible for them to give you the money. So that's you blocking and you refusing, not allowing yourself to receive. Another thing you could be doing is constantly creating new content, new courses before you've actually even put in place the old stuff. So you're constantly on this treadmill of doing more, putting more out there, but yet you're never really experiencing all the benefits of putting something out there and then having people buy, work with you. You're already on to the next thing. And it's almost because you know that if you completed the other stuff and you had success, life could get uncomfortable because life would change. And also think about courses. So very often you'll hear people say they've taken every single course out there, and they're always taking courses. They're always working with a different person, and yet nothing is changing in their business. There comes a point when you have to ask yourself, what is going on? If you are constantly taking courses and you're getting all the knowledge that you need, you're getting all the pieces of paper to prove that you're qualified or certified, and yet you're still not earning the money, you're still not putting yourself out there, you've got to ask yourself why is that happening? Because it's not because you need to learn anymore. You don't need any more. You just need to put yourself out there. And part of that, again, can be an upper limit problem, because when you're in that place of learning and of working with people, you're not having to put yourself out there and deal with things like actually being successful. So just be honest with yourself in terms of why you're doing the things that you do. So there we go, that's upper limiting. Those are some examples in terms of what could happen in your private life and also what could happen in your business. I would love to know how upper limiting plays out for you. If you would like any support, then please come and tag me in the Facebook group. I would love to help you unpick your personal self-sabotaging habits, your personal traits of upper limiting, because we've all got very different things that we do and very different reasons behind that. And as I say, I'm going to share some videos, another video on why we upper limit shortly, so watch out for that one. Have a wonderful day or evening, and I will see you very soon. Bye for now.